Was not expected to be. They were supposed to play a home and home, the first one at Chattanooga. But as you probably noticed, we've all got masks on. You see Coach Davenport there in his 16th season. We have some socially distanced fans in the house tonight. We are all wearing masks. Teams have both been taking precautions, but a lot of things have changed already about this season. And so all of a sudden, Chattanooga is the historic opening opponent for Bellarmine when it was not expected, and they're just happy to be playing games. Lamont Paris said, look, man, we got 4 games in 7 days. We're just happy to get going. As a jumper there falls for Bellarmine.
And it's interesting that Bellarmine's already went to their bench. You're going to see a lot of this tonight. I talked to Coach Davenport this week. He said we're going to play 10 guys all year long, and before the 16-minute timeout, he's already at his bench. So you'll see a lot of that, a lot of different faces, but a lot of the players can be very interchangeable in this type of system.
Kennich tries a triple, no good. Here comes Claycomb in the other direction. Bradshaw to the tin, nice finish. The kid from Russellville, the all-time leading scorer and rebounder in Russellville high school history, showing a little bit of athleticism there, fading in the air and still finishing off the glass.
This is a big start for Bellarmine. This first 5-minute period, they kind of got out a little slow towards Duke, and they could never make it back. And just getting off to that good start just gives you that confidence to the rest of the game.
Malachi Smith for 3. He got it again. That's 2 for him. And it's 13-8 Chattanooga as they are off to a hot shooting start. DeVault inside. A nice cut there from Bradshaw to return 13-10 here And we've already got a fast-paced one as we expected, Nick.
Yeah, Malachi Smith is very impressive early on. He's built like a rock, and the way he's shooting the ball at 6'3", 210, when Bellarmine's going to have to close out, it's going to be a lot of trouble when he starts getting to the rim later in the game.
His grandfather was a 1979 NBA draft selection, and this guy has just been an elite rebounder for anyone, but for a guard especially, as he finds Caldwell for three. That's been something that Chattanooga has struggled with a little bit to start this season, and they are coming out early, bagging threes here to keep Bellarmine behind.
I think they're 32% on the year, and they're coming out 4 or 5, and the nets are hot. And a little bit surprising seeing the hot shooting early on in Freedom Hall. Usually a bigger arena tends to make it a little harder to shoot to get used to, but both teams are kind of out firing it and don't seem to be having a problem with it.
Yeah, catch your breath, folks, because I haven't. We're already 6 minutes plus in, 16-13 Mocs. Chattanooga playing its third game in 5 days and hoping to make it their third win in 5 days. Bellarmine lost their opener to Duke, but came back and won against Howard as Jean Baptiste bags another three. Baptiste, excuse me. Nice shot from him. Between him, Kenich, and Smith, they had 55 points combined in their win over Middle Tennessee. A really impressive win for them on the road. And they have, like everyone else, been dealing with stops and starts with practices and everything as another jumper falls, and this time it's the freshman, Jamal Walker.
This is a really impressive start for Chattanooga. I don't think Bellarmine thought that Chattanooga was going to hit 6 or 7 threes in the first 7 minutes of the ball game. We'll see if Bellarmine adjusts, but I don't know if this pace will continue for Chattanooga, but I'm sure they're really happy with it.
We got a timeout here, 22-15 Chattanooga.
About 6 years ago, Northern Kentucky made that same move to the ASUN, which has turned out very well for them, going to 2 of the last 3 NCAA tournaments.
Big time program, and one of the teams that Chattanooga has already notched a really nice victory against. As they start out in possession here, it's 22-15. And how we got here, the teams are combined 15 of 24. And that actually, I think, is the first whistle from in-game action. As we're going to take a look at Lamont Paris, who I talked to the other day, head coach of Chattanooga in his 4th season now. They've improved each year that he's been there. He's had to put together rosters with a lot of transfers, but worked at Wisconsin, was part of the staffs that went to the Final Four and national championship game, recruited guys like Frank Kaminsky. As we see Sam DeVault get into the game and flip in a little righty hook there. But a great coaching resume for Lamont Paris. He worked under Keith Dambrot as well at Akron. He was on staff with Shaka Smart for a season. He recruited the Pittsburgh area and has had a really strong start to this campaign, and admitted that it's been weird more than anything else. He's driving separate from his team to games as an additional safety protocol. And Jean Baptiste is making it worth his while. Another 3-ball for Chattanooga, and they've got an 8-point lead here, thanks in large part to their hot shooting from 3.
Yeah, I think we can thank our stats guys for that key player to watch, David Jean Baptiste, at the beginning of the game, because he is on fire right now.
There's a foul on the scrum underneath. And Bash Wieland was the way to SoCon. It is a really good league, and they have been the most successful team in it since joining it in the late 70s, including a really fun Cinderella run back in 1997 under Mac McCarthy. Lost to Providence in the Sweet 16 as we get a foul underneath. But this has been a super fun game to start, Nick. And Chattanooga has grabbed the headlines early, 7 of 11 from 3-point range.
Yeah, like I said earlier, 32% in the first 4 games, and come out and double that output in the first 8 minutes is something that I'm sure Bellarmine hope doesn't continue, and Chattanooga does. And when we looked at Chattanooga, they looked like a dry first team, wanted their guards, Jean Baptiste, they wanted to get to the rim, and kind of the first 8 minutes has been a little bit of a flip of what we would expect the kind of the game would flow. So a little bit surprising, but we'll see if that settles down a little bit as we go through this first half.
Dylan Penn, the top returning scorer for Bellarmine from last season. When Bellarmine went 20-8, just bags a couple of free throws there, and he is already scoring at a high clip again. As you get the deflection underneath, and Thielen caught that as he flew to the ground. And Bellarmine trying to answer right back with a tempo of its own, and then look who it is, it's Thielen hustling down the floor and drawing the foul on the other end. And this is a kid, Nick, you'll appreciate this as someone with a similar family history at Bellarmine, who has a ton of history preceding him. His brother Jake starred at Bellarmine, was a D2 All-American, and he's now following in his brother's footsteps.
Absolutely. I know the Thielen family very well. Not just his brother. His sister played volleyball at Penn State, and I don't know if anybody knows how big of a powerhouse Penn State is, but you know, he's got athletics in his family. And talking to Coach Davenport, you know, Nick Thielen's the one, when that biggest jump's your freshman to sophomore year, and his summer was off the charts, and I think you're seeing it early in the year. For somebody that didn't get very many minutes last year, is going to be a big part of this team the next 3 years. And along with it, they have 3 sophomores in the game that they're going to count on for big minutes throughout the rest of the year, with Bash Weigland and Alec Freem, a couple of Cincinnati kids.
They certainly recruit Cincinnati hard, and they've got a whole Cincinnati contingent. They were joking last night, Alec Freem talking about all of his teammates from Cincinnati, talking smack about the Bengals, about the Reds. And it was funny because Justin Betts, his teammate who's from just across the river here near Louisville in New Albany, Indiana, rolled his eyes and said they never stopped talking about Cincinnati sports. But Bellarmine trying to cut into this Chattanooga lead. Chattanooga still up 5 here. Nice cut there from Whelan, but good at the rim defense from Jean-Baptiste.
That was a great pass from Dylan Penn, and a great cut, just didn't finish it.
Baptiste sure can get off the floor. This is a guy with a really special story. It's in his 5th year now in the program. Is the only guy still here from when Lamont Paris first took over the program. And they're going to ask him to do a lot for them this year, and he's responded big time. Miami native, nice drive there. And he had to just get something off.
That's probably the first possession that I think Bellarmine feels like they contained Chattanooga a little bit.
It just seems so difficult to keep those guards in front. I know that's such a big thing with the man-to-man at places like Bellarmine. They teach something similar to the pack line, trying to keep people in front of you. But Malachi Smith, we get a look at Trey Dooms checking in here. And, of course, David Jean-Baptiste are so quick with the ball in their hands.
Absolutely. And the way Bellarmine's going to play that, it's not one guy guarding those 2 guys. It's all 5 of them. So, you know, when he gets in the lane, they're going to send waves of players to not let him get all the way at the rim. But Bellarmine's not going to be able to handle him one-on-one. It's going to take 2 to 3 guys to be able to force him into gaps where they have help.
Dylan Penn with the crafty finish. He is literally ambidextrous. I'm not joking. He is ambidextrous. He can finish with both hands. He can shoot jump shots with both hands. And oh, by the way, he also finished 7th in the 400 in track as a sprinter as a senior in high school. So he's quite the athlete. And he's showing off his scoring prowess here as Chattanooga's run down the shot clock again. Malachi Smith no good. And it looked like that went off Claycomb last on the fight for the rebound.
Chattanooga's doing a great job on the few shots they've missed so far. They've gotten probably almost half of their rebounds. I think that's the 3rd extra possession already early. So they're really working hard. Their big guys. Their guards might take a lot of the shots, but their big guys are always working inside to get extra possessions.
This is Malachi Smith to Josh Ianni, the St. Bonaventure transfer. South Alabama as well. Ianni was on that St. Bonnie team in 2018 that went to the NCAA tournament. He was a starter for them. So you get a foul underneath on Claycomb.
It's getting interesting as the game's starting to slow down a little bit about how often Chattanooga is ducking in with their big guys, and it's just keeping Bellarmine's eyes inside, and it allows their guards to be able to have a little more space to work. So their big guys are very active right on that block.
Fast and furious start. That's just the 4th foul call in this one, as a 3 ball from Malachi Smith is no good, and Bradshaw just is able to grab it over Kinich. This is Freem to the tin. Alec Freem, he had 14 points and 14 rebounds in the win over Howard, and he gets a nice finish there at the rim.
Alec Freem's going to be a special player for this program, playing out of Cincinnati Moeller High School, a team that's always loaded with Division I players. He's used to these type of players, being able to guard them all the way back to high school. So I think this will be a little bit easier of an adjustment for Alex than it might some of the other players on the team, and you can see that with the significant minutes he's getting so early in his career.
Saw a big-time shot there from A.J. Caldwell, who Lamont Paris calls Chattanooga's glue guy. See him defensively underneath on Betts. This is Thielen now with it, out top again. Freem to Bradshaw.
It's a little bit of an empty possession for Bellarmine. They never really got into what they wanted, and they had to settle for a shot that I don't think Coach Davenport's going to be too happy about.
Nice segment here for A.J. Caldwell and Chattanooga as he grabs the board there. And the pace has definitely slowed down as Chattanooga up 4. As Caldwell fires from 3, no good. And Freem grabs the rebound. It was fast and furious. We didn't get our first whistle until after the 13-minute mark.
Look for Bellarmine to try to get a backdoor cut on one of these next few possessions. They've been open all night, and we'll just see if they go back to it.
As Thielen going to work down low on Ayeni. Tries to turn, almost walked. This is Bradshaw now, guarded by Caldwell. Jumper is up and no good, but Caldwell.
Looks like we got a hold.
Claycomb was the first to it, but there's going to be a foul call. I think it's on Bellarmine big man, and we are taking in a historic occasion. It is the first home game for Bellarmine men's basketball as a newly minted Division I athletics program, and they are taking on another program that at one time was a very strong D2 program, but they have been in Division I a lot longer, Chattanooga, as they are still up 4 here, 28-24. Just under 7 minutes or so to play in this one, and another deep possession into the shot clock for Chattanooga. Malachi Smith at the buzzer, no good. And Bradshaw grabs another rebound for Bellarmine. This is Betts, flips it up, right hand, no good. And Malachi Smith, or David Jean Baptiste has it, walking it up. He's already got 9 points. He came out guns a-blazing from 3. And things have really slowed down after a breakneck pace to start this thing as Malachi Smith, nice pass inside to Ayeni, and he finishes it with a couple of up fakes.
Yeah, you knew sooner rather than later that Chattanooga was going to go inside. They've only taken, that was only their 5th field goal attempt inside 3 out of 20. They've already taken 15 threes, so you know the coach was going to go make them go inside a little bit more and take advantage of some of the size they have at their bigger positions.
Bradshaw with a little pirouette there and a finish under the hoop. 30-26 is your score here. Chattanooga in the lead. As we approach 5.5 minutes left in this first half, Chattanooga 4-0 on the season, coming off a nice win over Middle Tennessee just 2 days ago. This is their 3rd game in 5 days. The story of the COVID-19 changed season as Malachi Smith fires a 3 at the end of the shot clock, and we've got a foul underneath, and it looks like it's on Sam DeVault.
Looks like
sorry.
Yeah, they were, like we said, they were looking for the hook and hold, and it looks like they called a double foul to the best of our knowledge. We never, a little bit hard with the COVID, with the refs coming over like they usually do and kind of give us a little help, but that's the best what I think they called.
So Scotty Davenport just so excited to be coaching here in Freedom Hall. Just pointed up to that 326 section saying he watched the Final Four here, Nick, in 1969 as a young kid in Louisville. Recited all 4 teams, knew everything about it. And you can tell how excited he is to be in here playing tonight as Chattanooga is back in possession. 32-26, 4:40 to play here in the first half.
And as surprising is to the audience that Coach Davenport will remember something from 40 years ago and exactly what section you're in, it is very least surprising to me, because he is always known for these little one-offs that he has from when he was a childhood or growing up, or the memories he has in certain places, which is, I think it means so much for him to bring Bellarmine back into this arena.
David Jean-Baptiste with another 3-ball, and he is really feeling it. 3 of 5 from 3 so far today. And that is a big reason why Chattanooga has a 9-point lead. They've been shooting the lights out from distance in the first half. This is Bradshaw out front, guarded by the freshman Walker. Flips it off to Claycomb, but he missed it.
That's about the second or third layup that Bellarmine's missed right there, point blank.
Jean-Baptiste, a 3-time state champion at Miami Norland. And he's going to get rung up for a charge there. It looked like that was Justin Betts who was able to get in there and draw it. It's 35-20. Smattering of fans here, but we're all wearing masks at a smaller capacity, 15%, 2,700 fans here in the times of COVID-19, as we're just happy to have basketball in front of us, Nick.
Absolutely, and looking around Freedom Hall, this is a really good place to be able to be spaced out, because it seats 20,000 fans. So this is a great arena, and it was a great opportunity for Bellarmine to be able to move here, given not only this year with the COVID, but also going forward with all the additional amenities that Freedom Hall offers, not only to fans, but to promotions, to sponsors. It's a win-win for both Freedom Hall and Bellarmine.
Well, Malachi Smith and David Jean-Baptiste already have 20 points between the two of them, as Malachi Smith, with the nice finish there, gives Chattanooga an 11-point lead. As we get a foul underneath, I think it was on David Jean-Baptiste.
In talking to assistant coach Doug Davenport before the game, it was about keeping those two guards, Malachi Smith and David Jean-Baptiste, out of the lane. And I think Bellarmine's actually done a pretty good job of that. It's just they're hitting all of their threes. You know, David Jean-Baptiste on the year so far was 10 of 33 from 3, right around 30%. And tonight he's already 4 of 6. So that's really tough to guard. And some things you're going to have to live with it. And he's so good off the bounce that I think you're just going to have to live and just contest late on those threes.
Bellarmine in possession as Jean-Baptiste gets a breather. And the freshman Walker back in for Chattanooga. Hometown kid, as Malachi Smith gets the steal and gets an offensive foul, as he sought out Dylan Penn and nudged him there, and Penn drew the foul there.
Very savvy play by Dylan Penn. That's an upperclassman, knowing that, you know, he might have acted a little bit, but just gave it the chance for the official to make the call.
You could see Lamont Paris was not thrilled as soon as it happened. As Bellarmine back in possession, trying to cut back into this double-digit deficit. This is Claycomb to the 10.
That was a great play by Bellarmine. They were looking for a pick and pop right there for Ethan Claycomb to kind of get a little three-point barrage, kind of the old-style Bellarmine basketball going. And Chattanooga did a great job closing out, but that's just the evolution of Ethan Claycomb's game, of being able to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim as he's gotten older.
He is a career 74% free throw shooter. And this is an Indiana kid just across the river. Redshirted as a freshman at Indiana State. Then he played in 7 games in his second year before transferring to Bellarmine. Shot 39% from 3 for Vincennes Lincoln High School, and has gotten off to a great start so far this season, especially as a scorer for Bellarmine in their 2 games, as he bags a couple of free throws. 37-28, 2:15 to go here in the first half at Freedom Hall, homestanding Bellarmine University.
Great passing by Chattanooga, just couldn't finish, had a miscommunication on Bellarmine on the switch on the backside, and they got lucky there. Bellarmine's starting to move the ball a little bit better now. It's starting to, and that's what happens. They had 3 passes that were really quick, crisp passes. No, the ball didn't hit the floor, and they get a reversal and an easy layup.
Nice flipping from Pedro Bradshaw.
Crowd's starting to get into it a little bit for the first time tonight.
Starting to hear the crowd a little bit. As Kinich fires a 3, no good. And Ayeni is going to be whistled for the foul on the scrum underneath. Looks like he got tangled with Alec Freem. And the Bellarmine staff and teammates all made sure that they were happy with Freem's effort as we get another look here at Jaden Frazier, the freshman for Chattanooga out of Pulaski, Virginia. This kid one time struck out 19 batters as a high school pitcher. It's a school record.
Chasing Roger Clemens' MLB record of 20 strikeouts.
Yeah, big time.
And Mark Pryor, Chicago Cubs.
There you go. Mom played at Radford, but here's Nick Thielen again. First free throw is up and good, and that's actually been something that Thielen has struggled with a little bit. Shooting free throws, just career 33%, but he bangs this one. He's already averaging 9 points a game, had 14 against Duke in the season opener. What a great way for a program transitioning to Division I to start their season. It was not expected to be that way, playing at Duke. As we're noticing the pressure and the intensity picking up a little bit here on the floor. Chattanooga looking to get things going through Malachi Smith. Caldwell.
And that's what Bellarmine's going to settle for. They're going to make them kick that out.
Three ball, no good from Walker, and the rebound is for Bellarmine. Headed back in the other direction. Nice pass from Penn, and the finish by Pedro Bradshaw. And this is an 8-0 run from Bellarmine. It's now 37-34 as we cross the minute threshold.
Chattanooga is going to continue to try to get downhill at the rim, and Bellarmine's going to throw waves of players to allow them to not score at the rim and force Chattanooga to kick it out. And so far in the first half, they've been hitting at a very high clip from three-point land to keep this 6-point lead.
Big time shot from the freshman Jamal Walker, who is a hometown kid, as I mentioned. Played for East Hamilton High in town. Bradshaw in the post trying to go to work. Big time finish for Bradshaw, and the lead is back to 4. Bradshaw has 15 points for Bellarmine. Excuse me, 13 points.
I expect another drive down the lane and a kick out for another 3. We'll see if they make it, but I imagine it's going to be a kick out. Smith
versus Penn to finish the half, and they get the foul. It's a charge drawn by Ethan Claycomb with 4.9 on the clock. One final look.
Look for a pass down the middle, and they're going to kick out to a wing 3.
This is Penn.
And look for it, wasn't there.
Tough shot, no good. And we are going to break with a halftime score of Chattanooga
against the second half. So I think there's going to be a lot more offensive rebound opportunities for Connect to get in this game a little bit more and put some points on the board.
And you just saw the shot there of Pedro Bradshaw from Bellarmine, who is leading all scorers with 15. We're underway here in the second half at Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. A famous basketball arena, happy to be hosting college basketball again. Chattanooga in their road Navy uniforms, 4-0 coming into this game, and with a lead there as A.J. Caldwell starts the second half with a 3. And he shot 41% from 3 last year, and he is picking up right where he left off with a couple of big ones 3s tonight.
Absolutely. They got the ball inside out there and put a lot of pressure on Bellarmine's defense.
Bellarmine trying to fight back. They trailed by 11 at one point in the first half at 37-26, and there's a foul there on the floor to Ieni as A.J. Caldwell is limping over to the bench. It looks like his right ankle. Lamont Paris called him their glue guy. His brother Dominic plays quarterback for Chattanooga, his uncle, an NFL executive. So hopefully he's okay. It looks like Jamal Walker is going to check in for him. Oh no, it's going to be for Ieni as Nick Thielen bags the first of 2 free throws. Oh no, it is Caldwell. After all, it was a little confusion.
He's limping pretty bad. We'll see. Hopefully he's all right and get back in the game, because he's, like you said, a glue guy. And you know, we came out of the halftime talking about Knitsch needing to get in the game a little bit, and even though it really didn't show in the stat sheet, he just got that 3-point field goal for him. So, you know, sometimes the points don't do it justice of how big of impact some of these big guys can have in the game.
Thielen's second free throw is no good. Claycomb almost got it, but Malachi Smith, who has been an absolute beast on the defensive glass, snatches the rebound for Chattanooga and backs his way across the timeline. This is a look at David Jean-Baptiste.
Similar box set again for Chattanooga. Just going to put the ball in the guard's hands, play a pick and roll with one of the big guys and a backside duck in.
Here's Kenich out front. The Belgrade native throws it inside to Frazier. Knocked around, and they're going to call a foul, I think, on Claycomb.
I know Coach Davenport's not going to be happy that high-low just got through. The help was just a step too late, because that should have been an interception and going the other way. But it's early in the year, and Bellarmine's going to get adjusted to the speed of the game. But that should have been a steal right there. Ethan should have got that. He knows it.
Inbounds to Jean-Baptiste. Tries a tough righty hook, no good. And it's knocked into the hands of Claycomb. Here comes Dylan Penn. Nice pass ahead to Bradshaw. Back to Penn for the finish. And those two have carried Bellarmine's scoring load so far in this one. Penn's got 10.
It's definitely a battle of the backcourts right now, and it's pretty fun to watch. And when Dylan gets in full court and transition, he's going to be a load to stop.
This guy is a big-time scorer as well, Jean-Baptiste, but he has the ball pulled out of his arms.
I'm thinking that Bellarmine called timeout because they called foul.
And it was at Freedom Hall where Scotty Davenport, the coach of Bellarmine, was frustrated on the last exchange. Justin Betts getting a steal, and David Jean-Baptiste of Chattanooga diving into the scrum to try to tie him up. Davenport wanted a foul call, didn't get it, but we did get the timeout out of it. And it's still a 4-point game. Chattanooga leading as Jaden Frazier boxed in the corner. This is Jean-Baptiste out front. Malachi Smith has had a nice game for Chattanooga. They try the high-low action. It's swatted away, but Smith gets a good look from three. And a board from Ethan Claycomb, who skied up to get it.
Yeah, Ethan went after that one with two hands. It was good to see, because I think they were going to get an offense rebound there if he didn't come out of left field.
Dylan Penn with a super time finish.
When he gets his head rolling downhill, he is very tough to stop at the rim. It's impressive to see him grow over the last couple years, because he's one of the best finishers I think Bellarmine's had, just with his ability to go left or right at the rim.
He is an ambidextrous guard, at his best slashing out of Evansville Wrights Memorial, and a big-time track runner in high school, but basketball was always his #1 love, and you can see why as he finishes there. He's had a strong start to the second half, and we are back to just a 1-point game with 17:20 to go in this one.
Bellarmine's had a good history of Evansville Reeds High School with Dylan, and then before him, Adam Eberhard. A great program down there, and Bellarmine's lucky to have these two kids run through their program.
Jean-Baptiste to Caldwell. Now Walker trying to get Kenich in the post and can't.
Expect a number of duck-ins on these next couple possessions.
Smith finds Kenich, and there's going to be a foul out at the elbow on Sam DeVault. He's the other Evansville Wrights Memorial grad on this roster, former high school teammate of Dylan Penn. Chattanooga taken out underneath here. This is Jean-Baptiste. Finds Caldwell, nice pass and a three.
His release every time has been perfect. I can tell right when that ball comes off his fingers, it is a perfect release.
A.J. Caldwell, coming into this game, had 47 threes in his career at Chattanooga. He's now up to 50, and that was a big one. As Betts is inside. Has a cutter, and Dylan Penn on back door. Easy lay-in for Penn, and it's back to a 2-point game.
Very surprising that Bellarmine only took 3 threes in the first half, but they've done such a good job of getting those backdoor cuts to the rim. I look to that to continue with maybe him sprinkling in a couple of threes here and there.
Kenich for 3, no good. He can hit those. He's a good spot-up shooter. As Bellarmine quickly in the other direction, and DeVault stepped out of bounds.
It's interesting. I've seen through the first month of the basketball season how many more people are stepping on that inbounds, and I don't know if it's a combination of court awareness without having fans right there on the floor. Usually there's courtside seats right there, so it's happening a lot more and more early in the seasons. I saw it at the Kansas game a couple nights ago. It happened 2 or 3 times, so just a little bit of self-awareness for Bellarmine. That was a big turnover because they had a chance to tie it or take the lead there.
Couple of substitutions checking in as Trey Dooms is in for Chattanooga. Alec Freeman, Bash Wieland check in for Bellarmine. And it's David Jean-Baptiste tacking off the elbow Kinich. This is Caldwell. He's had a great game shooting the ball, and there he is. Catches the top of the backboard, and we're going to take a break. It's 46-44 Chattanooga matchup, because they'll have known a team that beat Middle Tennessee in Chattanooga, so they'll have some film that they can look at a little bit closer than maybe some of their other games. Chattanooga up 2 here in this one.
That's Bellarmine's one of their favorite plays the last decade, a pick and pop 3 for the 4-man.
It's Sam DeVault. Transfer from Austin P, and he gets the jumper to fall. A nice shot there. They really like him. They think he can be a big-time player for them down the line and contribute a lot this season, just as he did there, as he ties this game. As close as it's been, Nick, it was never tied. It was always an 11-point, started as an 11-point lead for Chattanooga late in the first half. And you see the charge there as Claycomb draws the charge, but it's been plays like that that have gotten Bellarmine back into this thing and all tied up with 15 minutes left.
Yeah, I think Bellarmine survived that early barrage from Chattanooga with all those threes really early, and they started to settle in and stick to their scouting report, which was to close off the lane, to not allow layups, and to make Chattanooga hit forced three-point shots.
Freem gives it off to Claycomb. Now Dylan Penn, guarded by David Jean-Baptiste.
3 here would be really big for Bellarmine. They got a lot of their shooters in the game.
DeVault back to Bash Wieland, and their late shot clock offense is going now as a 3-ball from Ethan Claycomb. And right on cue, making you look really smart, Nick. I should call you Tony Romo.
Yeah, they with Bash Wieland and DeVault and Freem and Ethan in there, you could tell they were trying to make a little offensive run. Those are some of their best offensive players, and you could just feel it coming, that Bellarmine 3 that they've been known so long before, with so many prolific three-point shooters in their history, from Justin Benedetti to Braden Hobbs to Adam Eberhard. There's a laundry list of Bellarmine guys that can fill it up.
And I believe that is Bellarmine's first lead in maybe the game, but at least since very early on, as we saw the tie-up there and another turnover. Alec Freem forced it. And Bellarmine feels like it has the momentum right now as we approach the 14-minute mark. The Knights lead by 3.
Bellarmine's really getting into their offense. They're getting deep into their sets. You can see they always have 5 guys moving, and it makes Chattanooga, you always have to be on your toes. And that first slip up, it's going to be a layup for Bellarmine.
This is Bash Wieland from Cincinnati, running out of time. He's got to throw something up. I think it grazed the rim there, but great defense from Chattanooga, as you said, Nick. And here comes Malachi Smith. Nice find in the corner. Walker for 3, could not get the bounce.
Look at Dylan go.
And here comes Dylan Penn in the other direction. Big time move, but he missed it. And now here's the other guy. Jean-Baptiste takes off, and he got it. His first bucket of the second half. The Miami native with a cool finish to get Chattanooga back within 1.
That's a big 4-point swing there. Bellarmine would have went up 5. Instead, it's 1. I know they'd like to have that play back, but kudos to Chattanooga to take advantage and getting the ball out quick in transition.
And Dylan Penn with an answer of his own. He is having a heck of a second half, up to 17 points as Jean-Baptiste drives, and it's a charge called. Bash Wieland drew it.
It's 4 charges already for Bellarmine. This game's starting to feel like it's turning the momentum to Bellarmine. And to go back to Dylan Penn, his moves in the post, I mean, he could teach a number of big guys how to play in the post, and yet he's a point guard.
As Lamont Paris pulls David Jean-Baptiste to the side after the charge call there. It's got to be difficult for guards driving into the lane, as you see Penn's numbers there. 17 points, 3 assists, coming off a career-high 22 at Howard. And it was so funny, I asked him last night what was going right for him, and he's just said it could have been anyone on the team, and that is a very Bellarmine answer, that he would defer the credit for it. But his teammates were quick to pick him up and said, no, he's pretty good. He's been able to find ways to get to the rim. He's hitting his jumpers a little bit more, which I know we've talked about, Nick, is a big part of his game to improve for him to become an all-around scorer.
Absolutely. He's getting harder and harder to defend the further out his range goes with that 15, 17-foot jump shot.
Trey Dooms, the turnaround hook, no good, but a big board underneath from Ayeni. And that is a grown man rebound and drawn foul there from Josh Ayeni.
He cleared out space before he caught the ball, or after he caught the ball, and when the ball went up. And that, like you said, that was a grown man's move, and he wasn't going to be denied there. And just another case where Bellarmine was fronting the post and wasn't able to get back. And, you know, sometimes that happens.
Feather in Josh Ayeni's cap is that as a big guy, he's actually a really good free throw shooter, 77% for his career from the line. And that gives him that added element. He's been their primary interior scorer. Kenich, a face-up 4. And Ayeni, the physical 5, who can match him. And he hits a couple of big free throws there as the Bellarmine Knights lead the Chattanooga Mocs 51-50. Close to the 12-minute mark as there's a little bit of confusion there. The ball smacked off Thielen's face.
Probably the first time I think Dylan could have waited a second longer and he would have had a guy coming up at the top of the key for a 3.
Big time athletic drive there from Trey Dooms. Catches the ball in the corner and took maybe 2 steps to get to the rim and draw the foul. This is another kid who they really think can be a big time impact maker at Chattanooga. Nick, he's a transfer from West Virginia, played there, obviously known for just this frenetic style, really tough to play, and so you know his conditioning is going to be there. Won a state championship in high school.
Yeah, I think he's huge for them because this last 2 minutes when they've taken out Jean-Baptiste, they brought him in and they've gotten multiple buckets in a time for a great rest period for your best player right before the TV timeout. So that's a great sign for Coach in the Chattanooga Mocs on being able to kind of give your best player a break in a crucial time and not losing anything on the scoreboard.
Chattanooga back in the lead here, up 1. It's been much more of a seesaw battle after Chattanooga took an early 11-point lead as Bradshaw drives and has it knocked away. And we're going to take a break here as there's some dispute, but it's going to be Chet and UNCG, a team that you are not going to expect to see at the bottom of those standings anytime soon. They were just in Louisville for the multiple team event that they had here. Chattanooga, with these guards, looks like they'll be competitive in that league, Nick.
Absolutely. I think when you have a 1-2 punch like Mikhaili Smith and David Jean-Baptiste, you're going to be in every game you play this year, especially in the Southern Conference.
And the ball was knocked away there, and Bellarmine in possession here, trying to take back the lead as they run their...
I see Bellarmine's still going to look to get something to the rim, some type of cut. They're going to look to get a pass and a bounce pass for a layup.
A lot of cutting, a lot of movement off the ball. They're well known for it as Devon. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. The big fella with a punishing finish. And his man fell, so he had a clear path. And I think that was the first dunk of the game. And it was a big one as Bellarmine takes the lead again under the 11-minute mark. Caldwell just grazed the rim, but a nice play there from Dooms, but I think he was stepped out of bounds.
Chattanooga's not going to wait any longer. They're going to put their best players back in and make a run at it here in this last quarter of the game.
Big-time scorer David Jean-Baptiste. He's had an electric start to the season. As you get a look there at Sam DeVault, who transferred from Austin P and has had a really nice second half for Bellarmine as they have reclaimed the lead. They trailed by 4 at halftime and by 11 at one point in the first half. But this has been a really fun first home game as a D1 team for Bellarmine, and Chattanooga has been more than up to the challenge here. It's been a lot of fun. Clay Cohen trying to back down. Caldwell flips up a shot and missed it, and Caldwell has had a great day today on the glass. He's hit a bunch of threes, up to 6 rebounds for him.
That's 2 or 3 defensive possessions in a row for Caldwell, where he stuffed Pedro Bradshaw on the drive, and then he stuffed Ethan Claycomb there. It's very impressive he's had a very solid game on both sides of the court.
See why he's called the glue guy as Kinich fires a three, and that's something we talked about, Nick. He is their third leading scorer, 14 points a game. He hadn't been able to get going in the first half, and that's a big shot for him.
Absolutely. He's a 40% three-point shooter, and he's 6'9", has good moves inside. It was just a matter of time where he was going to start getting his points.
Bellarmine has it in the hands of Pedro Bradshaw as he tries to find the cutter Betts, and it's knocked away. But Bellarmine has been able to get the offense going a little bit more after coming out and struggling just a little bit. And it's been Dylan Penn in the second half and this guy, Pedro Bradshaw, in the first. Penn fires up, no good.
Two straight possessions for Bellarmine, withstanding more than they normally do, and they paid the price for it. And you know, now Chattanooga's got a little bit of momentum on their side, and they got the ball in the playmaker's hands, and I wouldn't be surprised if something's running through him here.
Jean-Baptiste finds Kinich. Kinich driving. One to Walker for three, and he got it. The freshman, Jamal Walker, the Chattanooga kid, a big three for him, and the lead is back out to 5 for Chattanooga. That is a big-time shot from the freshman. He's also had a nice game today and has had a chance to play a lot.
Chattanooga was very good in their possession there. They were slow ball reversals and got a good look out of it.
Penn to Claycomb for three, no good. And it ended up in the hands of Malachi Smith.
Coach Smith tells him to slow it down a little bit. Wants to get something set up again.
This is David Jean-Baptiste. Plays on the Haitian national team. And is just an incredible kid, according to Lamont Paris. He's won a prestigious award on campus for leadership and service.
Bellarmine did very good possession here. They never let it out of that quadrant of the court, and it just put him in a box.
58.
Tell within 30 seconds why he is a senior leader of this team, because he's getting everybody else involved. He's making everybody else better, and it's usually one pass assist, and he's making all the right plays, and that's the reason why the Mocs have kind of built out a little bit of lead. Is the ball staying in his hands. Coach is drawing up plays, and everything is running through him, even though he's not going to take the shot every time. But don't be surprised here these next 5 minutes when the ball's in his hands. He's going to go to the hoop and get a couple buckets.
Here's Caldwell out front to Malachi Smith, trying to take Betts off the dribble. Fires up a jumper, and he got it. That's a big-time shot from Malachi Smith. He's got 12 points. And we did just want to mention Bellarmine women's basketball getting its home opener on Monday against Ball State on ESPN+. Exciting opportunity for them to kick this thing off as Pedro Bradshaw is having himself a nice Freedom Hall debut of his own.
Absolutely. He's finished 2 or 3 of those in there on the block with contested jumpers.
Three ball from Kinich, no good. And Dylan Penn has the board.
Just a little quick there by Chattanooga.
And Bradshaw has been so good in transition. He's got 19 for Bellarmine, and we're back. Excuse me, yes, no, it's 19 points, and we're back to a 3-point ball game. Chattanooga in possession.
I think this ball is going back to Jean-Baptiste. They kind of need to settle down a little bit.
Kinich to the corner. Walker for three. Got it. Big time. The freshman, 4 of 7
There's the steal
from 3, and then there's the steal. Jamal Walker, hometown kid, and has been open a lot in that corner, and they keep finding him.
He's had a heck of a game, and he looks like he is just budding with talent, even when he puts the ball on the floor.
Caldwell for 3, and he got another one. And Chattanooga's three-point shooting display has around 40%. And Chattanooga's offense, so much of it, as we said, predicated on driving, getting in the lane, drawing fouls, getting turnovers and scoring off turnovers. But tonight it's been the 3-ball that has the Mocs out to a 9-point lead, and just under 6 minutes away from their 5th consecutive win to start this season. Bradshaw tries a three of his own, and he got it.
It's a big shot right there from Bellarmine to keep him just close enough, and another steal.
Betts with the steal. Pass to Penn, a quick shot there, though. Off the steal from Betts on the inbounds, and Scotty Davenport just shrugs his shoulders there after that one. Malachi Smith with his highlighter green sneakers to the basket. Another pass to the corner. This is Caldwell to Kinich. Nice ball movement. Three ball, no good. As Bradshaw grabs the board.
It's a good look for Chattanooga on that possession. They got what they wanted.
Bradshaw, tough shot. And the ball ends up in the hands of Caldwell. And Jean-Baptiste and Malachi Smith together can run the backcourt. As Smith takes it with the right hand, a little floater. He hasn't had a huge second half scoring-wise, but he is another guy who can make things very difficult for you defensively.
That little 8-footer floater without using the backboard is such a high degree of difficulty shot. It's very impressive.
Malachi Smith has been a rebounding machine. He's got 8 boards tonight, but he also has 5 assists to go with a big-time 14 points as another three falls short for Bellarmine. 68-60 here, 4 minutes approaching. Chattanooga in control at the moment. Malachi Smith and David Jean-Baptiste have been pulling all the strings with help from this guy, Jamal Walker, the freshman, as he tries to find the Belgrade native Stefan Kinich in the post. Kinich jumper off the backboard, no good. And here comes Bellarmine. Just haven't seemed to be able to get some of their, I shouldn't say alternative, but other options offensively going in this half, as Freem's three is no good. And Malachi Smith will walk it up. Under 4 minutes, excuse me. And an 8-point Chattanooga lead. Lamont Paris and his team trying to win their 3rd game in 5 days.
This is a big possession here. It's almost a must-stop for Bellarmine.
Walker thought about it. Shot clock dwindling. Walker again from the corner. Got it! Jamal Walker, the freshman. He is all kinds of tuned up tonight. 5 threes for him, and that might have been the biggest one of the game.
If Chattanooga continues to shoot like this, they are going to be an absolute handful. They did in the previous 4 games, and you know, it's the biggest key to this game. They're outscoring Bellarmine 51-9. They have a 42-point advantage from the 3-point line, and that's almost impossible for Bellarmine to win the game when you're losing by 42 from the 3-point line.
Chattanooga just needs 1 more 3 to set a program record for threes made in a game. They've already tied it at 17 as Freem, nice little up and under there after a couple of spins on the pivot foot. And it's back within single digits. Bellarmine pressuring a little bit more full court.
Yeah, but Bellarmine isn't really known to pressure full court. It'll be them still relying on their base defense, and every stop from here on out is a must stop for Bellarmine. Every basket is going to make it almost impossible for Bellarmine to score, and they just got a big turnover right there.
The crowd enjoys it. This is a city that always loves physical, intense defense. From University of Louisville and Bellarmine. And they get a big stop there as Bellarmine down 9, looking for a big bucket on this possession. This is Betts. Drives in and he missed it with the right hand. Big rebound underneath Malachi Smith. As we take a look here as David Jean-Baptiste off the ball right now. He's got 14 points, 3 boards, 5 assists. He's done a little bit of everything. He's hit 4 threes, all of them in the first half. And even mentioning him, I feel like we have to mention Malachi Smith. 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 14 points. Caldwell's got 15. Walker's got 15. It's been a well-rounded performance from Lamont Paris's team.
Absolutely. I'm very impressed with Chattanooga's ability to move the ball and kind of adapt to the game that I think was different than every game they've played so far, with which Bellarmine's presented to them. As we knew that they were going to force Bellarmine was going to force them to shoot a lot of threes and hit a lot of threes, and they've done it so far.
Jean-Baptiste couldn't get that one to fall, but here comes Dylan Penn in the other direction, and a foul is called underneath. I think it was Alec Freem, it was. And that's on Jean-Baptiste, which I believe will send Freem to the line to shoot 2. Or no, it's 1-1 here.
Bellarmine's going to have to look here to start fouling as soon as these free throws are up if they don't get a quick trap and a turnover. And in Chattanooga, one of the luxuries is when you're guard laden and your guards are really good, a lot of times they're going to be really good free throw shooters, and that's exactly what Chattanooga has. Malachi Smith, 89% free throw shooter. David Jean-Baptiste, 78. So it's not easy for teams to come back when the ball is going to be in the hands of your best free throw shooters and also your best players.
Well, one thing to now monitor here for Chattanooga is Jean-Baptiste has fouled out with 14 points. We were just talking about how good of a game he had. So they'll put the ball back into the hands of Malachi Smith. And Trey Dooms has checked in for Chattanooga to replace Jean-Baptiste. 1:27 to go, and Alec Freem is shooting 1-1 for Bellarmine. He's got 4 points today. He had 14 points and 14 rebounds against Howard on Sunday. The first win as a Division I program for Bellarmine. And they are trying to notch their first home win as a Division I program here tonight. But Chattanooga is zeroing in on its 5th consecutive win to start the season. And Malachi Smith, the guy with the ball in his hands, has been a big reason as the pressure picks him up, and they're going to get a foul on Justin Betts.
Exactly who Chattanooga wanted to get the ball to. Their 89% free throw shooter to help ice this game away.
And one more until 1-1. For Bellarmine, they got to keep trying to get these turnovers here.
Yep, get it right into their best free throw shooter again, and Bellarmine doesn't want to foul him. They're going to have to send a trap and help to get it out of his hands and foul immediately.
Malachi Smith waiting for the contact to come, and there it is. It's going to be on Betts, his 3rd.
You almost wanted to see Bellarmine there foul the freshman. Malachi Smith had such a great game and just consistently being their top free throw shooter. You got to step up and make him now.
He is having himself another strong performance. He's just been a double-double machine so far this season, as the first free throw of the game for him is up and good. He's already got 9 rebounds and 6 assists today. He does have the 4 fouls, something to monitor for the final 72 seconds of this one. Second free throw is up, and it is good. Malachi Smith, only 6 free throws attempted this game for Chattanooga. They've made all of them, and they lead by 9. And that's the worst thing that they want to do defensively, is stop the clock and give Bellarmine a chance to score some points from the free throw line.
Absolutely. There's not a ton of time left, but Bellarmine did a good job there. Teams will sometimes just look to take the first 3 and jack it up contested. If you got a chance to go get a layup or get something easy, you take it every time. And you just try to extend the game and hope you can win a free throw battle.
Ethan Claycomb at the line. Has always been a good free throw shooter, 74% from the line for a career. As the second free throw is up.
Don't want to foul. You gotta have him pass it to somebody else, and then there it go, big turnover. See if Bellarmine can do something. Oh.
It's a big back tap there. I think it was Kinich. And that is a big spoiler for Bellarmine and a big-time defensive play by Chattanooga. They had the turnover, but quickly recover with the back tap. And they're going back to the free throw line with Trey Dooms.
That's just a tough play for Ethan. There was so much movement and guys going so many directions. I know he wishes he could pick that ball up a half second earlier, but
Dooms first is good. He's now 3 of 3 from the line. He hasn't played a ton tonight, just 7 minutes. All of his points from the free throw line as the second one rattles in, and it's back to a 9-point lead. The clock is running here, under 50 seconds. 3 ball, no good. But Freem, quick, missed the layup. That's a bunny. That's a tough miss for Freem.
And I don't mind the shot from Bellarmine, even though it was a deep three. He was open. And you know, it's a low percentage, but you got the ball on the backboard and gave yourself a second opportunity, and just unfortunately you couldn't finish it there.
So Chattanooga is nearing a chance to move out to 5-0. And the last time a Chattanooga team started 4-0 was the 87-88 season. That team went 5-0 and then lost. And they have a chance here to go to 5-0 as Dylan Penn trying to chip into that lead and gets another bucket. Really tough bucket. He's got 19 for Bellarmine. We're going to stay here for this timeout. 70.
And then read up and steal that next pass. If not, you need to foul immediately.
Chattanooga, A.J. Caldwell to inbounds, and it goes deep for Dooms and turns it over. Lamont Paris is not happy on the sidelines. Freem to Penn. He loves that little fake one-way and go back to his right, but he missed it. And Malachi Smith is going to be called for the travel there. He was waiting for the foul call, I think, Nick, and it never came.
Yeah, there was a lot of nights there swiping at the ball, but that's a tough call. And see, Bellarmine's had their chances here late. They just haven't executed and haven't hit that big shot.
And Claycomb stepped out of bounds as Malachi Smith now, after that last rebound, he's got another double-double this season. And he has done just about everything for the Mocs tonight. And he's a big-time player. He came in as a transfer from Wright State, was an all-freshman selection in the Horizon League, and Lamont Paris said this guy's really good. He's just been itching to play, sat out last year, and you can see why.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's had a great game, and having 3 years left in this program under Coach Smith, I continue to see him being, in the years to come, it's going to be their go-to guy. There isn't too many guys I've seen in all my years of basketball that are a one or two guard, and they're averaging 11.5 rebounds a game.
He is a winner too. He won his high school state championship in 2018 in Illinois with Belleville West. Really tough to do for anybody, any of the teams not from Chicago. It's usually a Chicago squad that wins state titles. Basketball powerhouse as we run down the final 15 seconds here. Chattanooga has managed to hold off Bellarmine in its inaugural home game at Freedom Hall, and that's probably going to no foul, and that's going to do it here from Freedom Hall. It was a 3-point brigade for Chattanooga.